from the brilliant mind of Brad Bird, creator of The Incredibles and Iron Giant.
Okay. No, I'm listening. And Ratatouille,
Writer
right? Yeah.
Paul Dini from Batman the Animated Series and tons of comic books besides that. Literal legend. From executive producer Steven Spielberg and Tim Burton. Oh.
And Tim Burton, I guess.
No.
And music by Danny Elfman. You know him. You love him. It's got to be a hit.
No, it has Tim Burton, though.
Oh.
Well,
I mean, how bad could Family Dog be, right? Like, what? Am I gonna eat these words?
I'm so mad. I'm so mad at you. I'm going to make you eat them because I'm gonna stuff them back down your fucking throat. I was trying to insist so hard that we not watch this.
Uh-huh. Welcome to Rough Cuts.
Welcome to Rough Cuts.
Dogs. They're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, they're the dog people, aren't they?
Look what he's doing!
Stupid dog.
Priced at only $12.98, each cassette features 2 side-splitting episodes, guaranteed to keep your whole family howling with laughter.
Now that makes me laugh.
There's Eye on the Sparrow and Hot Dog at the Zoo.
No dogs allowed. Come here, you.
Enemy Dog and Show Dog.
Whoa, Mom! He's wrecking the whole place! Go, dog!
Family Dog Goes Homeless and Doggone Girl Is Mine.
Hey, Mom! Dog's gone blind!
He's been like that since your father took him for a walk this morning.
Family Dog.
I want a story.
6 hilarious offbeat adventures available on 3 collectible video cassettes. Collect the entire series. Available wherever video cassettes are sold.
This is Rough Cuts. It's a podcast where we watch movies with dogs in them, and then we rate the dogs at the end. I'm Boyks. This is my co-host, Ilion.
Unwilling co-host.
We're here.
Are you going to loosen these ropes eventually, or...
No.
Like, listen, I'll stay in the chair. Just, it's cutting off my circulation.
What's that movie about the lady who abducts a writer and then, like... or something?
Misery?
Is that it? Is it like that?
Yeah, it's literally called Misery. Yes.
Okay.
Where she hobbles him with a, sledgehammer so he can't get away.
So he can't get away. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, but loving.
Yeah, my life is, yes.
Oh, I was talking about Family Dog. What are you... I don't... Okay.
Uh-huh.
What I'm most proud of is the work I did on those legs. Considering what I had around the house, I don't think there's a doctor who could have done any better.
Family Dog from Steven Spielberg and Tim Burton.
It's not nearly as bad as it looks. You have a compound fracture of the tibia in both legs, and the fibula in the right leg is fractured too. I could hear the bones moving, so it's best for your legs to remain immobile. And as soon as the road's open, I'll take you to a hospital. In the meantime, you've got a lot of recovering to do. And I consider it an honor that you'll do it in my home.
Anyway, a Family Dog. It has talent, technically.
I feel like I've been concussed. I really need a drink of water being tied to this chair.
No.
Maybe give me some water.
No.
So that's the first episode, by the way.
The first episode. There's only...
The last episode. The second episode. All the episodes.
There's only 10 episodes of Family Dog. It's a series. It was a spin-off of an anthology series from 85 that ran through 87 called Amazing Stories, which had 45 episodes and incredibly middling to low reviews.
Oof.
It was, I think, CBS's 40th of 65 shows with big name Steven Spielberg
kind of like.
Yeah, it's like Twilight Zone or
I was gonna say, yeah, kind of
or Tales from the Crypt. They were trying to do like horror / fantasy / sci-fi stuff. Basically,
Amazing Stories.
Last mission encounters the unbelievable. An amazing story directed by Steven Spielberg. A magical midnight meeting turns monstrous. An amazing story directed by Robert Zemeckis. 2 great stories, 3 great stars. Kevin Costner, Kiefer Sutherland, Christopher Lloyd. Amazing adventures, amazing stars, amazing stories. The movie. Monday at 8 on Channel 11. October.
Because Spielberg bought the rights to the 1920s anthology. I think it was a comic series.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Like
called
the pulp
Amazing
comics,
Stories,
yeah.
and he wanted to do a pulp show in the 80s to revive
That's
that
kinda-
type of thing, right?
That's a great idea, actually.
I think it's a decent
that's
idea. It also had an episode. The last episode of the entire Amazing Stories series is a Weird Al Yankovic as a Cabbage Man episode.
Yeah, you sent me that.
He's trying to get a beauty pageant to allow interstellar beings to be in the beauty pageant as his alien Cabbage Man or
Called
something.
Miss Stardust. Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
All I can tell you is this thing was definitely not from New York. At least not Midtown Manhattan. It was like a cross between Crazy Eddie and a produce department. But there it was, big as life. And it spoke.
You're in charge?
It was the greengrocer's fantasy. And it was staring me down.
Very well. Since no one present seems capable of speech, I shall state our case and depart.
Your case?
Verbal skills. Excellent. Hear me well. This contest is declared void. You have most inappropriately named this event the Miss Stardust Contest. Your choice is more than unwise.
Also, like, apparently it spawned a bunch of spin-offs.
Yep.
Like you were saying, The Dig, the LucasArts point-and-click adventure game, was
The Dig was
inspired.
supposed to be an episode of Amazing Stories, but Spielberg thought it would be too expensive to shoot for a television series. They just didn't have the budget for it. So they put the story aside, and it eventually became the LucasArts video game The Dig. There's also Batteries Not Included was supposed to be a episode of Amazing Stories, but Spielberg liked the stories so much that he told them to hold off and make a film.
Which
instead.
I don't know if it holds up at all, but as a child I really liked Batteries Not Included. It's a neat show.
And then, unfortunately, there was a single animated episode of Amazing Stories in season 2 called Family Dog.
Yeah.
Which was a 3 little vignette episode of 3 small stories involving this dog with a completely different voice cast. Because the show... the
different animators and stuff.
Different
too,
animators, yeah.
It was animated really well, apparently, in the short, but
because this
not so much in the show.
particular episode was 6 years before the show got made.
Yeah, long time, like a big gap.
And they used to do this thing on television where they would test out, especially animation, they would test out shows on other shows and see if it would be good enough to be its own thing. So it was sort of like a backdoor pilot thing. They
look at how
they
like,
still do that.
Simpsons started that way.
That's how Simpsons started. Exactly.
Yeah,
and
Tracy Ullman show.
That's also how like all the Doctor Who spin-offs happened, right?
Yep,
it was they made a backdoor pilot episode of the side characters having their own show, and then that became a show.
If it became popular and they were like, wait, this is a pretty good episode and people liked it, then they'd be like, oh, guess what? That's actually going to be a show. Who knew?
So I kind of think of Amazing Stories as Spielberg's way of like testing out plots and stories and little things and seeing what he can make out of them. And if they were popular as its own anthology show, great. If not, at least he has all this material to work with, right? That's kind of how I feel. What's funny, Family Dog was supposed to be a Simpsons killer. That's what they wanted.
Oh.
And it's by the studio that produced a ton of animated shows. They did like Care Bears, Strawberry Shortcake, Clone High, randomly.
Well, okay, Clone High's a lot later.
It's not the animation studio, but it's the production studio. The people that are like, okay, we're gonna pay you to do this. We're gonna we're gonna get the folks together that make this popular based on properties and names that are well known of either toys or children's books
Or famous historical figures frozen in time and cloned so that they could wear some sick Pumas, bro, and make a cool amusement park that's got all of them in it as a high school.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys!
I think they also did Blazing Dragons, which is like an Eric Idle Canadian animated series, which is very Monty Python-esque.
Also supposed to be just fucking terrible.
Yeah, the video game's good. I've played the video game.
Super bad. I've heard that I don't know. I've heard that the Blazing Dragons show is terrible.
The video game plays a lot like Discworld 2. Which it's just a point and click game. It's fine.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is just their project to spin off other projects. They get all these names. Like, I mean, you look at it on paper. Like, you got Steven Spielberg, you got Paul Dini, you got Danny Elfman on score. You got an animation
I will say
studio.
the score's great.
Score's fine.
The score's more than good. It's Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
Danny Elfman does good stuff. I thought that was good.
I think, like, on paper, you're like, okay, I could see how this could have been evolved from a middling anthology series episode to let's make a series about it because The Simpsons are getting popular. This is early 90s, right? So this probably would have got greenlit in like 91 and then released in 93 because it's an animation project.
See, here's the thing though. You say this and there's all these big names attached and it's like looking at a cookie. And you see it and you're like, ooh, it's got like little bits of Steven Spielberg and little bits of Paul Dini. And what are those? Are those maybe like raisins or something? And you take a bite of it and you go, oh no, it's literal shit. It's Tim Burton.
Turds.
Oh god, it's fucking Tim Burton. Spit it out.
I think the animation itself is also pretty ugly at times. I don't.
Oh, it's extremely bad.
That doesn't help it. But no, even if the animation was bad, I've watched some animated shows where I would say the animation isn't great.
Sure,
but
good animation wouldn't save this. We'll put it that. Well,
it's no The Max. Like it doesn't have a style. It's just trying to be something else. It feels like it's like a mix of like Rugrats and early Simpsons or something. And I don't know.
It's fine in terms of style, but it's kind of bland. And the actual animation is just generally very flat. It doesn't have any real punch to it. But honestly, if they had lovingly rendered like
the animation's not.
If you
the
don't
problem.
I'm just gonna.
Right.
I just wanted to say real quick. Warning for this episode: we have to talk about some really despicable things, because that's what the show's about. It's extremely disgusting. It's a lot of animal abuse, essentially.
There's a lot.
So, like,
if
they had lovingly rendered the animal abuse, I don't think that would have made it more acceptable.
No, that would have been closer to like Millionaire Dogs, right? Like
Millionaire Dogs is lovingly rendered, dude. Millionaire Dogs looks way worse. Listen, this looks bad, but the Millionaire Dogs looks way worse. Let's be honest. I can't do that.
Like incorrect frames drawn.
There were so many incorrect frames every like 10 frames. Is the problem with Millionaire Dogs? Yeah. People have green eyes, and I don't mean like irises. I mean like the whole eye.
The whole eye. Yeah, there were problems. But, like, okay, so it's not the animation. The animation's bad, but it's not the animation that's the problem. It's not the talent in theory. No. Like, they have good voice work. They have production folks, producers that in theory should be somewhere high up on the list. They have good music. They have a great writer.
They had good music. They have a fantastic writer.
They have the writers
like an unreal writer.
They have the writers of Batman in the Animated Series, creator of Harley Quinn. They have the writer of The Incredibles and Ratatouille. And it's just like, that's later in their career, mind you, but...
Yeah, I will say the Brad Bird thing.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with this show.
Well, he's listed as the creator of the show.
He's listed as the creator of the show because he made the short. He didn't want to do any of this, and he had zero input on the actual show. I looked that up afterwards, and he was always like, yep, they sure took my name and put it on that.
Great.
Like, Because it was, I mean, they had to give him credit because he had created the original Amazing Stories thing.
For Spielberg,
but
yeah. That makes
but
sense.
it was very, very much that it was like, he did not do any of it. Like, he had literally zero input on a single episode of the actual show.
A Family Dog.
But he's creator because he made the concepts. In the same way that, like, Tim Burton had nothing to do with Nightmare Before Christmas, other than he drew Jack Skellington and said, what if he was a real character? Like, that's basically his entire input on
Yeah, but I see a lot of parallels between Family Dog and the Iron Giant, right? Like, the Iron Giant... the Iron Giant loved killing people. It was his favorite thing. He loved war. He loved bombs and explosions. And the only thing I could think while watching this, while my face was just hot, just white, red hot, flames on my face, was, God, I can't wait for these people to die.
Oh, yeah. Just constantly. Like, oh, man. You know how in Iron Giant you were just constantly wishing that the nuke would land and wipe out all of humanity because they just deserve it? Yeah, that's exactly like this.
It's almost a 1-to-1.
It's exactly like all of Brad Bird's stuff. I just wishing for that nuke to hit and wipe out all the beatnik and the little kid and all of them, and that the Iron Giant would just peace out, flip off the whole planet, and just leave.
While wearing his Superman. Like,
well, yeah, he'd just go, Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, grab the nuke and, like, pile drive it into the core of the Earth to just end everything.
I'm Superman.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, that is like it is like most of the modern Superman movies.
Like most of them.
Weirdly enough.
We don't need to talk about Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder would have made a better Family Dog.
No.
The Family Dog cut, the Zack Snyder cut of Family Dog couldn't be worse.
If we could somehow get Snyder Bros to just stand for Family Dog, I think this will be a successful episode.
I feel like
because that feels like the people that would enjoy Family Dog.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sitting, we were talking about the show, and we were like, well, like, what audience are they trying to capture? And I'm like, I'm picturing, the cigar chomping executive, and they're going, okay, listen, like, we got the marketing guys on it. What are we looking for? And they're like, well, okay, sir, like, we've got Batman the Animated Series is really capturing like a really good core audience of like 14 to 22 for men. But we were thinking that, like, a lot of those people are normal, fairly well-adjusted people. And we were thinking that if we could get the psychopaths, the ones that torture small animals, or like try and like pull like girls' pigtails and try and like beat up queer people and things like that. If we could just like harness that audience, the worst of the worst,
like the racist
we could
ones,
really
the
like
most
nobody,
racist of them.
The most racist people we could get, like we could get a lot of that if we could cater to the racists and the misanthropes and all the misogynists and the people that hate marriage and the ones that want to torture all the little animals. We could corner the market. No one else is trying to get them.
Like the traditional American suburban family. That's what you're
exactly.
Yeah,
and I mean,
okay.
Like I said, no one's specifically targeting that audience until they had such a great idea to do it with Family Dog.
Yeah, I mean, the Simpsons audience is smart and intelligent, so we should go the other direction.
In comparison, by like
somehow, yes,
this makes like it's so hard to talk about this thing because like they are just constantly. Because when we say, like, the racism and stuff, too, we're not kidding. That's not, like, oh, well, because they like torturing small animals, which is most of this show, that they will be racist, too. It's that there is actual racism throughout this show constantly. Every episode has an Indian character that they make some kind of joke about them working at 7-Eleven, or they just constantly, like, reference tandoori like that's a joke,
or
like,
they make fun of like headwear or clothing or things like that.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
it's
yeah, I
real
forgot
bad.
they dropped the slur.
Yeah, they do.
I forgot that they just dropped slurs.
I think like so at the time, 93, there was a lot of racism on television.
Sure.
And you even look at things that are popular like Simpsons, and Apu didn't get, handled until somewhat
yeah,
recently,
that's terrible.
right? But we don't have.
They would have never said that on The Simpsons. I don't think they would have ever said
that far. I think
they basically went like, "Hey, Doctor N-word."
Yeah, they did do that.
Like,
basically, yes, yeah.
It's that bad. It is that bad. I had to rewind. I'm like, "There's no way they said that. Please rewind that." And it's like, "Holy shit!"
The family in Family Dog, which is different than Family Guy's Family Dog. That's Brian Griffin, which is funny, and a dog.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I really wish that we'd watched the episode.
In relation, we could have watched a Family Guy movie and had like a middling time instead of a miserable time.
Vastly superior.
There's like a Family Guy Star Wars movie. Let's just watch that shit.
Sure.
I don't fucking
yeah,
know.
dude. Please.
That's where Family Dog has left us. Anyway, so like the family, I feel, is supposed to be like a 1950s, 1960s style platonic family. The mom, the dad, the fucking split level 70s style.
Yeah,
home,
white picket fence.
The garage, attached, and 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The
2 kids and a dog.
The platonic American suburban family. Except these ones are the ones that have a crossbow that shoot arrows at their neighbor's dog in the yard because they think it's funny.
Yeah.
So
like the average American family.
Which is a neighbor I had growing up, by the way.
The thing is what they did is they went, okay, well, let's get the average American family. And not realizing what they did is they made that accurate, which nobody wants.
It's too accurate. Too accurate.
You want like the idealized version of it, not the actual one with the real psychopath kid that's like you said, taking a slingshot and shooting rocks at the neighborhood cat.
I'm trying to think like if they even focus tested this. They must not have, right? Like,
I don't know. They might have gone to like prison and found a bunch of the worst people imaginable to like go, do you guys like this?
I cannot imagine Hannibal Lecter as you're walking up to him in his glass case. He's going, Family Dog. Like, no, that doesn't happen.
That's the only person I can imagine liking this.
Hannibal Lecter would say, "Oh, not for me. I'm
No,
watching
thank you.
watching my animes." Like,
sorry, I need to watch Evangelion.
with
the
his
next Shinji
with his like Ray body pillow. No, we all know this.
Okay, I mean we know that he likes. Yeah, we all know that he likes Neon Genesis Evangelion. We all know. I know.
I know.
Morning.
That's fair. I shouldn't slander him like that. That's way more of a like Wild Bill. If we're gonna go from that movie, like Wild Bill would be into this.
Yes,
Hannibal
Wild
Lecter
Bill
is
will
way
be
more
into it.
Evangelion.
Hannibal's a respectable human being in American society. Maybe not that far. Anyway, so the whole joke of the series, though, so it's the platonic family.
Joke.
The parents hate each other, but they're married, and they constantly bicker and whine. The boy is like a little shithead that is constantly doing things to either torture or ignore the dog in ways that like a shitty kid would do.
He's very much when we're talking about the crossbow shooting at a dog, like shooting rocks at the cat in the alley with like a slingshot. That's kid.
That character, yeah. He's Bart Simpson.
That shitty kid.
Except shitty.
Well, he's like the real life accurate Bart Simpson,
right?
Yeah.
Like the one that is constantly ignored and left to his own devices and and just wandering
He's
around
the
town,
Sid from
yeah.
Toy Story, right? Like he's
He
the guy
is,
that's
yeah.
like pulling
like-
limbs off of toys and firing like firecrackers at other kids in school and shit like that.
That
He's
can't be right, because
just
the
a little
writers
shit.
in Toy Story realize that Sid is evil and bad. Not our
And
main
not like the
character
sympathetic
that we should
hero
have
main
as our
character.
Not the one that, like, God, there was an ad for the video game on Super Nintendo that was like, play the story that shows how close this boy is to his dog. They're good friends. Look how much they love each other. And it's the biggest fucking lie I've ever seen.
They try so hard in the trailers and promos for this
Yeah.
to make it like the family actually likes the dog. But in the episodes, they're just constantly like, bad dog, stupid dog, disgusting
They're
dog, I fucking
constantly
hate
yelling
this dog.
at this dog, how much they hate this dog.
Stupid dog. Who knows what he's thinking?
Also, the last family member is a toddler girl who wants to play dolly dress up and watch TVs and is constantly pulling the dog by the neck in ways she shouldn't, but she's a small toddler and she doesn't understand.
Like
and
dressing it up in doll clothes.
She's the only one who should be maybe exempt from the punishment that this family deserves.
No, none of them are free from sin. They will
Only
all
one
suffer.
I can think of. I'm like, okay, well, maybe.
No one is free from sin here, boys. They will all suffer.
But like,
Anubis will weigh their souls against the feather and find them fucking wanting.
I am hollering so much about the Anubis. That's the one thing everybody always says about me. Yeah, that does make sense. But like, okay, so you have the family, the dog. There's other shows out there that are about a dog and being stupid and getting into trouble and being silly and weird. There's one show I mentioned that was also a backdoor pilot show on Cartoon Network, was called Two Stupid Dogs, which is about two dogs that are dumb. They get into goofy, like wacky scenarios, and they're constantly saying things that are dumb and silly, and then it gets them in trouble and hijinks happen. But even
that
show,
can even have you can have main characters that aren't good moral things to follow and stuff, right? Like you can have them have flaws and problems and all kinds of things, but like they've got to have some kind of charm. They've got to have something, right? Like Simpsons is full of characters that are not role models.
Yeah, that's true. Huh. I don't know, that Mr. Burns guy has a lot going on. I think he makes a lot of sense.
That's true. I mean, none of them are free from sin either, except for Mr. Burns, who has enough money to be free from sin. Because
that's how capitalism works. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the U.S.
Absolutely. But like, so the idea of how you would make how would you make a show about this, right? So you have the dog.
Very doable.
You don't even have to have the dog talk.
No.
Like
the dog doesn't
as a cartoon show, which it doesn't do. But you have the dog, it sees a scenario, maybe on television, which they do in one episode.
Yep.
It sees the scenario and it's like, oh, I'm going to recreate that and this is going to be cute and goofy, but something's going to go wrong. In that scenario, the dog's watching a show where like a Lassie stand-in saves a child from a bear that is attacking her. And then the dog's like, oh, I can do that. I'm very brave and smart.
I'm a good boy. Yeah.
So then the whole episode could be about that dog trying to recreate that scene to be the hero. And at the end of the day, when it doesn't, it does be the hero. And then everybody in town claps and the dog gets like 7 steaks or whatever. Right?
Yeah. Or you could even do like you could do the subversion of it where the dog is like constantly putting them in danger to try and rescue them. And and then it's like, whoa, and you could do like kind of a funny joke on that and then have the dog realize like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't do that. You can even go kind of dark with it.
And you could even keep the oblivious family. Like the dog's doing things that it's trying to recreate, and every time the family is looking the other direction. So that's the comedy. Right? They never notice the wacky hijinks that the dog is doing in its secret life in the background when they're not paying attention.
You can do the
right?
hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my good time gal, right? Like the singing frog
you could do
classic
that.
from Looney Tunes. You can do
like
that.
That's a joke.
There's a good joke to be had there. The problem with this is not the concept. It's not even really the animation. It's none of that. The sole single problem of this show is that it is unrelentingly mean.
Yes. It goes out
In,
of its
like,
way to be mean.
in the most unbelievable and egregious fashions you can think of. I will say, the episode where we're talking about, which was the second episode that we watched, where the dog
Hot
tries
Dog
to
at the
recreate,
Zoo is the name of the episode, yeah.
Yeah. Where it tries to, like, emulate seeing a Lassie character on TV. Is by far the best episode that we saw.
It's the most, like, grounded in actual caring at the end, I guess. Like,
they say good dog at the end.
They give him pets.
It's the only time that they ever say good dog.
There's a problem with that, though, in that, so every episode starts with them being absolute shits to their dog. It continues.
Yeah, most of them end with that.
It continues in the middle of the episode. And then they try to cap it off at the end with either like a pet or a good boy or something. On most of them, there's at least some sort of touching moment. At the end of the first one, when the dog is trying to get a drink of water for 20 minutes, and the family over 2 days, 20 minutes of episode, I should say, over 2 days they don't feed or water, like give this dog any hydration. And then they drag it to a dog show, and the dog fucks up the whole dog show to get a drink of water. And they're like, well, you can't win them all, right? Like, that's the good boy, you did your best moment. But then they end that episode on not letting the dog piss and bickering and arguing.
Because the dog then needs to go to the bathroom, and they go, well, fuck the dog, fuck this dude. You don't always get what you want.
Yeah.
The dog wants to go out and take a pee.
Well, great. Dog is never satisfied. You can't do enough for that dog.
We'd all like to get out of the car, especially when Dad's driving, but we can't always have what we want, can we?
Oh, great. Well, now it's raining. Sure. That's what we need right now is rain.
The second, the zoo episode, they do end with, wow, what a hero. What a good dog. And the end of the last episode we watched, which is an extremely grim episode, is the
even for this
is the girl dog that he likes, like, curling up with him in a doghouse and them sleeping like together comfortably and just enjoying each other's company while he's healing from being sick. And that's at least like a aw moment. Like, they're trying to end every episode that they've had just constant bickering and bitching and yelling and screaming with some sort of a happy-ish moment. And I think that actually pisses me off more in a way. because it highlights how shit they've been the entire time, and they know that it's shit. So they're trying to, like, make up for it. It's such a half-assed thing. Again? Oh, well, we're a podcast that watches...
just listening to this again, I'm just like, wait, so why do we watch this?
Yeah.
Why did we specifically...
Yeah. But there's even a moment in episode 2 that you could see as a joke. Their attempt at a joke, where
I need to hear it. I need to see what you think was an attempt at a joke.
It isn't a joke, but it's an attempt at a joke. In that episode, their dog gets out after, like, following them to the zoo, and it's just wreaking havoc at the zoo and pissing off animals and everything. So they're talking to the zookeeper guy. And he's like, yeah, there was some dog let out in the zoo just wreaking havoc. Yeah, people like that are real shits that don't watch their dogs. And then the dad is like, yeah, people who can't take care of their dogs shouldn't have them. Which is a joke, because he's the one not taking care of the dog. But to me, the audience watching this, I'm like, no, that he literally should not have that dog. That man is correct. That is not a joke. You're speaking the truth right now. This is not funny because it's so wrapped in reality of the situation.
Someone let their stupid little dog in here. Can you believe it?
Well, I always say jerks who can't take care of pets shouldn't have them.
It's so grim is so much of the problem. If they went, like, extremely goofy with the violence in a way, right? Like if it was Itchy and Scratchy levels or Tom and Jerry or something, you could make it cartoonish, the abuse that they heap on this dog. But like the first episode, it's all really grounded is part of the problem. And so like the first episode is just this dog desperately at all times, like it jumps at the windshield to try and lick off the windshield wiper fluid as they're driving.
Because it hasn't had water in like 2 days. Yeah.
2 days.
Yeah.
And they slap the dog around for it.
Yeah.
Like literally beat the dog. And you're just there's not like a punchline to that. It's just
well, the punchline is
it's just that.
It is the abuse. That's the joke that they think is funny.
That's what you're
right?
supposed to find funny. Yeah, like it's insulting.
Yeah.
It is so insulting to its audience, to me specifically, to be like, "Hey, look, do you see this dog getting beat? Funny, right? Isn't that good? Isn't that great?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, no.
You say
why would you think I would like this? Also, I just wanted to mention, you saying the final episode is unbelievably grim, even for this show. I just want to reiterate that I agree with you, and then also, again, say, the first episode is literally 20 minutes of this dog trying to get water even by licking windshield wiper fluid off of the car, and they won't let it as they beat it.
Yeah. It sure is.
And the last episode makes that look uplifting.
But, okay, so you say this is for nobody. However, there are reviews online.
No, it's for psychos.
There are reviews
I'm
online
not saying it's
saying,
for
like,
nobody.
I watched this when I was 6, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen, and I thought I imagined it.
Yeah,
right?
Charlie Kirk.
Sorry, who? No. I know. But there's also there were other people that gave it like 7 out of 10. It's the funniest show. I was so disappointed when they canceled it. I love this show.
Yeah,
Me
Andrew
and my
Tate.
family watch this all the time. That's true. But
yeah, no, I get it. There's an audience for this.
There's an audience, but like, so
it's all the worst people imaginable.
I'm just trying to grapple with the reality of this existing, is what I'm trying to figure out. It's an enigma in my brain of like...
Yeah, it's wild that it got greenlit. It absolutely is. I fully agree with you on that. It's one of those things where you can only imagine it happening because of the incredible pull that Steven Spielberg and Tim Burton, wildly enough, had at the time.
That's gotta be
like,
why. Yeah.
That's what it is. But then you have to then ask yourself, wait, why the fuck did Steven Spielberg do this? You don't have to ask that about Tim Burton, because Tim Burton is that person. So like, whatever, that's fine. He's absolutely that nightmare.
My guess is because The Simpsons
why would
was
Steven
getting
Spielberg?
popular, and they're like, oh, we need to do animated shows, right?
But why this? Why would
because
they
they
look at
already
this
had
and
the
think that
property for it. Like it's one of those business decisions where it's like, well, we have this. This is a sitcom formula, right? It's got a family. Let's make.
I get it, but there has to be a point. There has to be a point where
no, there doesn't.
There's a pilot. Like, even internally, right? Where they basically do, like, the test episode. And they're showing it to, like, Steven Spielberg. And you gotta watch. Like, imagine Steven Spielberg. They're like, hey, sir, we've got the first episode done. We've got Paul Dini writing it. We've got Danny Elfman for the score. It's basically done. Let's make sure, like, this is what we're gonna go with. Is this good? And they sit him down and make Steven Spielberg watch 20 minutes of them abusing this dog and not letting it drink water. And he goes, 2 thumbs up. Yep, let's send that.
I don't think
send
Steven
it to print.
Spielberg ever watched Family Dog. I'm gonna go out there and say that. I think he gave them money and said, I have this thing and you make this.
I guess it must have been, right?
Happened, right?
It must. I can't. I have to know. It's one of those things where I don't have to know. I don't want to know anything about this. Why did you make me know about this and care about it?
Anyway,
why did you specifically do this to me?
I was going to watch the 3rd episode. By the way, these came out on tape. You could buy these
for
money.
Like $14.99 for 2 episodes of VHS tape.
Yeah, it was like anime pricing.
Let me just okay, hold up. So times 5. So actually, wasn't it $12.99?
It was $12.90 ish.
Yeah, it was $12.99.
2 episodes of tape, and there were 3 tapes. So
I mean, you were looking at
plus shipping. So you're like $15 a tape, right? And then
so you're really looking at what then? Like $90 to buy this series?
Probably, yeah. 90 to 100 in US modern day pricing, yeah.
Which that means if you look at 1993.
Oh, they only put 6 of the 10 episodes out on tape, so you wouldn't actually get the full series.
Jesus Christ. Imagine that you would pay $200.22 to buy this show.
Okay, so you're looking at me like an idiot if I bought Family Dog on VHS.
You could have just ended on looking at you like it. You already made me watch this, so you can just end
But
there.
I'm not a fool. I'm not a fucking idiot. I bought it on Laserdisc. Why would I buy it on VHS? It came out on Laserdisc also.
Did it also? Fuck off. I can't wait to get the full rip of this.
I was going to just watch the 3rd episode with you and call it, but we wanted to watch the end episode because there's apparently some drama, or not drama. There's some urban legend about that last episode that has gone. I
had heard stories. I knew about.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I kept on telling you, no, let's not watch this because I knew by reputation what this was. And you were like, well, I don't really know what it is. I want to see it. And I'm like, no, but you don't want to see it. And you're like, no, but I like.
No, I do. I do want to see it. And then we watched one episode. I'm like, I don't want to see this.
Oh no, I don't want to see this. I was like, yeah, no fucking shit. I'm like, well, if we're gonna do this, we got to watch the last episode.
In for a penny, in for a Family Dog VHS tape. I guess. But okay, so the last episode, it's called Family Dog Gets Good and Sick. Which already not a good start, right?
No.
We're going to make it our final episode of our first season about how the dog gets violently ill. Yes. It'll be hilarious in our comedy sitcom.
It was a really good treat for me as I have just taken my cat home from the hospital after about $6,000 worth of trying to keep him alive because he had a bad pancreatitis attack. He sat on my lap and snored pretty much the entire episode because he's literally sleepy, still recovering, which was really nice because I got to sit there and be like, "You're the best thing ever. I love you so much." I got to give him a lot of good pets. If you want to use this as a way to just be like, "Man, I'm a much better pet owner. I really love my animal." This is a great way to do that because boy, did I feel it.
Yeah, so the episode starts. The first line. The literal first line of the episode is, "I hate that stupid dog."
Yes.
They start the episode with that. And then the dog is sleeping and having a recap dream of 2 episodes prior where he meets a cool girl dog because they needed to get this episode out quick and man, they ran out of footage to fill the time. That has to be the reason.
These are all really scattershot for episodes too. Most of them don't have a through theme. The first episode is the one that's probably the most cohesive.
It's usually one 22-minute episode that is really 2 episodes that are unrelated, but they run together somehow.
The only one that really felt like it actually had a storyline through the whole thing was dog is dehydrated severely, which is the through line.
Yeah.
God.
Because that other zoo episode was 10 minutes of just the dog eating a ring. The dog bringing the ring back later on. And then them yelling at the dog for taking it and telling him he's a bad boy.
Where on earth did you find it?
Well, it was right where I should have guessed it would be. He took it.
Oh, I could just kill that dog.
Stupid dog.
Hey, mister. When are you gonna learn to play with your own things and leave ours alone? Don't you talk back to me. Just look at the mess that dog made.
Stupid dog.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
was really that the dad lost the ring.
Because the
and
dad's
dog
a
rescued
fucking shithead, and the dog was actually helpful and nice and a friendly, good pup. Yeah. No,
Well, and
I know.
The wife isn't any better because the dad, I honestly, like, this is a fine thing. She's like, what are we doing for our anniversary? And he's like, well, I was going to take you to the zoo and show you all the stuff because, like, that was where we met each other and that was our first romantic date. And she goes, oh, I see. I'm good enough for only the zoo, you fucking loser, you asshole. I hate you so much. I'm going to go back to my wine. And I was like,
well,
what?
I think his idea is good, but he says it the whole time while he's, like, caressing her ass. So...
Yeah, I know. He's also saying that all he wants is to...
He just wants to have sex
so,
and doesn't actually care about doing that. It's just the only thing he could think of. So...
I mean, I guess, but, like, that's not why she's mad. She's mad that it's the zoo and it's not more money.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the episode where a dog gets hit by a car and killed and dead.
And killed and very, very dead.
So what you had heard is that...
dog is traumatized.
Yeah, what you had heard is that the end of the series is that the dog fucking dies. Right?
Yeah, that it's basically, like, it could be seen as him dying. And it's...
I don't get that, but I do get a lot of PTSD in this episode.
Yeah.
Because there's a car accident outside, the family runs out with their dog, and the dog sees the dead body of another dog that got hit and killed.
Which they lovingly render
and called Noodles.
As a twisted, mangled
They gave the dog corpse a name, so us, the audience, feels even worse about it. And then they spend the next 10 minutes just throwing anything that has the word noodle in it at the dog, so that the dog is scared of death and the impending doom and the end of its life, while car noises are happening everywhere, and it's scared of wheels now, and everything around it hitting it and killing it at every opportunity. And that's comedy, apparently?
Yeah.
It's so fucking morbid. Like, it's jokes about death, and I don't... What were they doing?
You say jokes, but, like...
It's supposed to be a joke.
I guess?
Like the kid saying, whoa, that dinner looks like guts, Mom. Like, that's supposed to be a joke that, oh, isn't that funny? Just like the dead dog outside.
Sure. I can kind of see that, but, like, what was the joke of the dog being out in the doghouse and then it just has a nightmare of a car running it over?
Oh, that was it was funny that it had a dream that was terrifying or whatever.
Like, what this dog is traumatized horribly by thoughts of death.
I was saying this episode's the most experimental in how it's shot, animated, because there's all these dream sequences and there's all these weird things happening and noises flying by your ear as the audience and the dog. And, like, I almost get what they were doing. They were trying to make, like, a nightmare episode of like, scary things happening. But it's too grounded in reality and morbid to be...
Yeah.
Like, funny
I also
way.
Sure. I also think that... I mean, you can do... I get what you're saying. I actually can. I can fully understand the, like...
Like, if you're doing an episode on, like, a child who was scared of the dark... And they would have dreams of, like, clowns coming at them, and it would be terrifying. Then they see a clown. Like, it's that type of thing.
Well, also, like, I'm trying to think of, like, I don't have a good reference because I'm not, like, really up on Simpsons, honestly. Like, I don't know a whole lot about it. But I'm sure that they've had that episode where suddenly everything is, like, kind of real, and it has, like, a touching moment at the end of it, and it's, like, an actual... nightmare and, like, kind of a lesson, or like, for example, like, one that I do know, which, God, why am I 70? My example is, like, MASH.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, sorry, comedy. Grandpa, my bad, yeah.
But then like, they have an episode where it's just from, like, the perspective of somebody who was injured in the war, and it's like all the characters going by his bedside, and it's like kind of this really serious episode out of nowhere that's like, oh shit, like, this is an actual war, and it has like a theme and a message, and so it's like really artfully done, but it's all about like more serious topics, right? Like, you can do that, but the problem is that most of the time, like, you can do, like, a sudden grounded episode that's about that stuff. The thing is, this show is already grounded most of the time. Like, it's not really cartoony in a lot of ways. I mean, it is a literal cartoon, but, like, it's not going into wackiness, really. It's just very, very normal, grounded situations. And so then when it's still that, it doesn't feel any different. There's no, like, subversion of the show that makes you suddenly pay attention the way that those kinds of episodes do. And on top of that, like, part of that, too, is that most of the time, the show's funny, and then suddenly it being serious is a big subversion, too. And it's not funny. It's the same thing. And finally, on top of all of that, the biggest sin is that all of those kinds of episodes have a fucking moral lesson or point to them, like a theme. And this one is just like, what if we made it so it was like the dog was fucking dead?
You don't have to have a theme. You can just make things. I don't know if you know this. You could just make things. The other problem I have with the show is it's not a sitcom.
No.
It's touted as a sitcom and a comedy, and it is neither. It's no Dinosaurs. That's a sitcom.
God.
Like,
oh, baby, God love
like
me. That's what you needed. You needed, like, the toddler to say
Alf. Like, I do not like Dinosaurs or Alf, but goddammit, they're sitcoms.
I'd watch either of those over this any day.
Right? This is not that. So, like, I don't know if they understood the medium they were trying to create is part of the problem.
No, they don't understand. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of everything about art, is what this is.
Anyways, so that last episode ends with a mosquito drinking some toxic waste and injecting the dog with it, which gets it extremely sick. So they do the only thing possible. They call the cheapest vet that's open 24/7 to take the dog to, so then they can drug it and abuse it at the vet's office while ignoring it, and then take it back home to, I don't know, ignore it even more.
Not before being, like, very racist to the doctor.
They also have to be racist, yeah. And then the girl dog literally falls out of a plane or something. I don't know what they were doing with that.
Like, it's kind of a weird one in that how I talked about, like, a lot of the times these shows, when they do that kind of an episode, it's that normally they're very wacky and cartoony and kind of out of this world situations, and then it becomes really grounded out of nowhere. And this does the opposite, where it's normally very grounded, and then this episode is like, there's a weird mosquito that drinks toxic waste, and then there's, like, the dog falls out of a literal plane as the plane is crashing and exploding in the background, and the dog is, like, all covered in soot and, like, burnt up because it's been in the explosion, and it falls out of the plane and lands, but then it's fine next to him, so it's like, wait, what? Like, it's just weird change. What a strange thing.
You can do this episode. It's been 9 episodes of a 10-episode series of them being absolute fuckers to this dog.
Yeah.
So in the 10th one, the dog gets sick, it's scared of dying, and then the whole episode needs to arc and end with the family realizing they've been shit to this dog, they should appreciate it, they should love it, they should spend their time with that dog is a treasure, and at the end they all come together and they're like, yeah, we love this dog, actually, that's our family dog, and then it ends. Like, that's how you end. Like, if you're gonna do all this fucking shit,
and do that,
you could try and redeem the series at the end and be like, look, this is what we were trying to do. We fucking failed, but this is what we were trying.
I could. Human beings.
But
with
instead,
souls
they have the dog sleeping in the yard as they're still bickering and yelling and bitching about everything and how much they hate that dog in the background.
Yeah, as it's, like, sick and dying in the yard. Yeah.
Anyway, that's Family Dog.
That's Family Dog. It sucks, too, because, like, they've got... When you say, like, they have some voice talent, like, Martin Mull is the dad.
Yeah.
Martin Mull is also known... You would know Martin Mull from... he did a lot of voice lines, but he also did, like... He was Colonel Mustard in the movie Clue.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
He's in a ton of things. Like, he's a really good, funny guy. He's in Arrested Development, he's Gene Parmesan.
So at the end of the day,
Private
though,
Eye.
are you gonna go up to Steven Spielberg and tell him he's fucking wrong?
Yes.
When they're making this?
Yes.
Like, are you gonna really do that? Because somebody should have. Somebody
I
fucking
would.
should have.
I mean, dude, if you give me a time machine, I'm gonna go back and correct all of the history's worst mistakes, starting with this.
Starting with this one, which is only slightly worse than other things that happened in history.
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
This is definitely the worst thing that's ever happened in history, and I will make sure that we go back and stop it.
Uh-huh.
And that's my lifelong dream now. Let's rate the dog.
The dog has a name. Did you know that?
It does. It's Jonah.
It's Jonah. I don't even think they mentioned the name multiple times. Maybe the once.
No, they don't. They never called it. They just say bad dog.
They just call it a bad dog. They hate that dog. That fucking dog.
The first episode, I actually thought that the dog's name was King because they kept on referencing King.
That was a different dog.
That what it was is that it was them saying, well, I wish that he was like our old dog King, who was a better dog, and this dog's so shit.
Yep. They mentioned
they don't
the
even
other
call
dog,
this dog by name. They
one,
mention the name of the other dog that they had that doesn't even appear in the show, just to compare and say that this dog is worse.
If there's ever been a dog that deserves better and that can do better, it's this dog.
This is an SPCA out of 10.
Yeah. This is we should tear apart and destroy the entirety of PETA. Not because of this dog, just because. In general.
Yeah, no.
I mean, just in
it's
general.
totally unrelated, but we should, yes.
Out of 10.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I'm sure PETA fucking loved Family Dog. Anyway. Well, this sucked.
Yeah, thanks for the Sunday morning.
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
This is like the most depressing episode we've ever done. I had such a bad time. It is really hard to talk about how bad this was. I would much rather have watched Love on a Leash again than watch this.
You can support us if you want, I guess, at Rough Cuts.
We too can then buy all of the copies of this on VHS to make Boix
on our
watch it
Patreon.
at $12.99.
You can follow us on Blue Sky. Rough Cuts is the name there. You can email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com to tell us how much you hate this episode of Family Dog, or how much you've been clamoring for an episode of Family Dog for 6.5 years. I know you have. Everybody, any day now, I'm going to get an ask for this episode, and I'll be like, ho, we've already done that. Any day.
If you want to send us like an email, you can email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com,
Yep.
and you can beg and plead to Boix on my behalf to untie me from this chair and let me stop watching Family Dog.
Which I will not do.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, that sucked. Well, let's watch something a little more uplifting. Anything. The book just says anything. I know.
I was trying to think of let's go watch 12 Days of Sodom.
Hard Candy.
Is that one?
Schindler's List. Anything really.
120 Days of Sodom, I think is what it is. Or what was that one?
Fuck. All right.
Give me anything.
This is in times of great need. It's great that we have something we can all bond together about. Like how all of the people involved in making this should die a horrible death.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
No, everyone involved in this deserves... I don't even know. A day out in the hot sun with no water.
To never find an onion ring in their order of fries again.
Okay, I'm not that mean.
I'm that mean. They don't deserve that joy. You don't understand.
My whole life ruined by dogs.